fucking sunshines. Here in the woods, where I fucking belong. Riding solo. Roscoe's sleeping his ass off right now, but it's all good. Well, the countdown has begun, motherfuckers. I know it's been a long goddamn winter. Has for you, has for me. But it's time to start thinking about the PCT. Not that I haven't been thinking about it for 6 fucking months, but it's time to start talking about the gear I'm going to be using. So, we'll break it down like we did last year. I'll break it down into the big 3: clothing setup, cooking setup, filming gear, all that shit. Today, we are going to be talking about my big 3. Now, if you followed my AT hike last year, you'll notice in some of these gear videos, most of the gear is the same. I've got some changes, some upgrades. So, let's get to it, man. We'll start with the goddamn pack. Alright, fuckers, here she is. This is my pride and fucking joy. This is the Hyperlite Mountain Gear Wind Rider 3400. I love this fucking pack. As many of you know, I carried the Wind Rider 3400 on the AT last year. Thing kicked ass for me. It's pretty much bomb proof. The weather stripping on the inside started to peel towards the end, but everything stayed dry for the most part. I did get a little moisture in towards the end during some downpours in Maine and shit, but the weather stripping is starting to peel, and it was 6 months of fucking brutally using it, so I can't fucking complain, man. They call these things highly water resistant, dare I say waterproof. It's fucking awesome, I'll just say that. I walked through a shit ton of rain on the AT, and none of my shit got wet. So what I love about these packs is the simplicity of them, and Hyperlite does not sacrifice performance and durability for weight. It's just bare bones. There's nothing to it, man. You have a big mesh pocket on the outside, a couple water bottle mesh pockets, a roll top closure. It's just one big open tube. You do have a water bladder pocket on the inside, which I don't use. I used for my iPad last year, but it does have the water bottle bladder inside it. But that's basically it, man. 3 fucking pockets, and that's all I fucking need. Now, I did add a couple accessories to this pack. As you see, I got Hyperlite just released this. This is their phone case. I carried a Z-Packs one shoulder strap pouch last year, which worked fucking awesome. The reason I upgraded this one is it's got a weatherproofing zipper on it, and it fits my iPhone 8 Plus perfectly. And it has the mesh pocket like my Z-Packs one, but this one's a little more I don't know, it's tighter. So there was times when I had my Z-Packs one, and over time it got stretched out. I bend over, pick something up, and shit would fall out of here. So this one will prevent that. Now I usually just keep a can of dip in there, but I might keep headphones in there, whatever. But yeah, it's nice to have easy access right there. On the inside of this pouch, you can't see it, but it's got a little mini pouch on the inside, which right now I just got to have a lens cleaner for my camera in there. Fit whatever you want in there, obviously, but hell yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. Easy access from my phone. Now, I'm not going to be filming my phone this year, but it's there for GPS purposes and things like that. So, and then the other accessory I added to it was my Peak Designs capture clip. The bottom of my A7 III, I have a little plate that slips right into there. It's a push button release, so my camera is always going to be right on my shoulder strap. You know, I love taking pictures of many of you know that follow me on Instagram, so my camera's always going to be there, easy access, and obviously I'm going to be filming with this thing too, so I need it right there. I can't be digging in my pack and shit. Not unless it rains, it'll go in my pack probably. But those are the 2 accessories I added to it. Now the big seller on this pack is why I upgraded from the last one. It was the hip belt pocket changes. The hip belt pockets have been modified, and they are bigger and better this year. I know Hyperlite probably got sick of the complaints they had about the last one, and I bitched about it too. They sucked, especially when your pack was buckled on your hip. You cannot get the old zippers open and close. They're pretty much useless. These ones, I used this pack on the Art Lobe Trail recently, and fucking night and day, man. You can fit ungodly amounts of snacks in here, your phone, whatever. I have put my iPhone 8 Plus in these packs. It's a little tighter fit, but it will fit an 8 Plus phone, which is huge. I keep my Body Glide in here because, you know, you never know when your ass is going to chafe. So I keep that on the outside, and snacks upon snacks. The other thing about this pack, like I said, it's just one big open tube, but it does have a Y strap on the top that you can fit whatever you want on top. I might fit my bear can up here for the Sierras. I always keep my sit pad on here because, you know, taking breaks in mud, especially on the AT, it was nice to have my sit pad on the outside. But you can fit extra layers, whatever. And then it's got obviously the roll top closure. There's 2 buckles on the sides. And you can see how much goddamn room I have left over. Now I don't have all my gear in here, but when I carry this on the Art Lobe Trail with, you know, 3-4 days worth of food, still got room to fucking spare us, man. So, hell yes, this is the pack I will be carrying on the PCT, man. Now, a little disclaimer, these packs are not fucking for everybody. I'm not an ultralight guy. mainly because of my camera gear I carry. But I have all the ultralight shit. Now they say these packs are rated to about 40 pounds comfortably. I carried about 40 pounds into the 100-mile wilderness, and this pack was still comfortable for me. But everybody's fucking different. So there you go, man. This is the fucking pack I will be carrying. All right, fuckers. I got so many goddamn questions on the AT about my secret prototype tent. I cannot fucking show it. I cannot film it. I cannot post pictures of it. It broke my heart as much as it did for you guys. But this is not the tent I carried on the AT. The tent I carried on the AT was Hyperlight's one-man prototype. They sent me. I carried it from Duncannon, PA, all the way to Katahdin. The thing kicked ass. There was some tweaking they wanted to do to it, which is why they released this one, I think. This is the Durango 2. It is available now on their website. I've just slept in this thing only 3 nights because they sent it to me after the AT. But I have slept in it 3 nights. The thing has kicked ass so far. Now, I'm going to be carrying this tent on the PCT, so if you guys are worried about that $800 price tag, just follow my ass. I will be giving updates all along the way on how this thing performs. It's going to be new to me, basically, on a long shot, because I didn't carry this one on the AT. But let's set this bitch up, and we'll take a little closer look at it. Alright, fuckers, there she is. That is the Durango 2, now available. You can go get this bitch right now at hyperlightmountaingear.com. $800 price tag. I know a lot of people were bitching about the price, and Hyperlight's expensive as shit. Now, I will disclaimer, I got this tent for free, but I would pay $800 for this fucking tent. You got to think, the way I think of it is, I'm going on a 6-month-long hike, okay? This is my home for 6 fucking months. I would pay more than $800 for 1 month's rent in Asheville, North Carolina. So this is actually a fucking bargain. So even if I didn't get this tent for free, yes, I would pay $800 for this fucking tent. Now, I'm not going to go over all the specs and weights and dimensions and all that shit. If you want to know all that stuff, go on Hyperlight's website. They have it all listed. They have some videos on setting it up and all that shit. I'm no expert yet, but I can set this thing up in about 4 minutes. Not bad at all. Sets up with 8 stakes. You can actually set up with 6. You got 4 on the corners, obviously. You got 2 coming out the ends, and then you got the 2 doors on either end, obviously. Zippers on these things are pretty fucking hardcore. I'll show you this one. Yeah, there's nice zippers on there. These on the door and the vestibule doors, it's got these 2 little tabs, right? Now, I only have guy lines on 1 on either end. You can switch the guy line over to this one if you want, if you just want to stake this one out and have that door open, vice versa. Or you can just add guy lines to both of these and stake out, have them there in case you don't know which one you want to stake out when you get to camp. That's there if you want. It's got these little pull tabs, pull it tight. It's got these little toggles. One there on both sides, so you can open this thing bitch all the way up. Obviously this thing sets up with trekking poles. You'll notice here there are these little loops, right? These little loops, there's one on either end. This is to stick your trekking pole in its inside. I haven't got that set up yet because I have baskets on my trekking poles currently. I'm gonna remove these tips and get new tips. So you slide your trekking pole right through here, and then it's got these little, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there, bitch. It's got these little grommets, right? And you see that trekking pole, the tip sticks right in these little grommets, and you can just pull these out on either ends to give you the maximum amount of room on the inside. These are D-style doors, 1 on either end, so it's like a half door. I prefer big rainbow doors. That's what I loved about my duplex. You can open the bitch all the way up. These ones have half doors on both sides, which isn't a big deal, but just a personal preference. I prefer the big rainbow doors, but it's not a fucking game changer, or deal breaker, I should say. All right, fuckers, now we are inside the goddamn tent. Like I said before, it's got these D doors. Now, you can toggle this one up. There's a toggle on the inside here. So you can, roll this mesh door back and keep that open so you have maximum viewing capabilities. Now, I did notice when I first got this thing and set it up the first time, I noticed there wasn't a toggle on this side. I don't know if it was because it was the prototype they sent me. They just didn't have it on there. I forgot to put it on there. I don't know, but it is a pain in the ass kind of, because if I want to look out of my tent in the morning, have this thing rolled up, I got to be aware of which way I've set my tent up at night, just because I've only got one toggle here, open up one door completely, so I just have to be aware of that. I don't know, like I said, if it's on the tents on the website. I would assume they put toggles on both sides so you don't have to deal with that, but the D doors do give you plenty of room to cook or whatever the fuck, look out if you want in the morning. If it's raining cold in the morning, I like to just cook my coffee right here in the morning. The vestibule does give you plenty enough room to do that. If it's raining out, you can cook in there. Just be careful. You don't want your shit lighting on fire. But there's that. Above my head here, there's a gear loft. I keep my headlamp in there where you can keep whatever the fuck you want in there. Not much to it, but it's enough to keep some shit above your head. I'm going to try to give you a perspective of how much room you got in there. I know it's hard to see on film, but I do have a wide angle lens here. So let's lay all the way the fuck down. I am 5'11". And this is plenty enough length for me. Laying completely down, I still have about 6 inches above my head there, and then my feet are pretty much all the way to the end. But there's plenty enough room in here, and I sleep in the fetal position, coiled up, so this thing's got plenty enough room, enough to keep all my shit in here and then some. I like keeping all my gear in the fucking tent, so that's a bonus. You may be able to see up here, but there's these little cups, right? Your trekking pole handles fit in those little cups, and above here is a carbon fiber rod that kind of fits above the cups there where your trekking poles go. The carbon fiber rod just kind of sits in there, and this thing ain't fucking going here. I'm gonna shake it and shake it and shake it. It ain't going anywhere. So the stability is pretty fucking nice. All right, fuckers, I'm not going to go over, like I said, over the details and specs on all this thing. If you want the specs on this tent, go over to Hyperlite's website. They have all listed there, obviously. On Hyperlite's YouTube channel, they have videos on setting it up on all that shit. They're better at that than I am, so if you want that information, go over there and check it out. Now, if you're worried about the $800 price tag, which I would be too, watch my through hike, man. I'm going to carry this thing from Mexico to Canada, living in it every night for 6 fucking months. So that is the true test of gear. A through hike is going to see if this shit will hold up or not. So hang out with me a while. Watch me use this fucker. If you're on the fence about buying it, and you'll see if it works for me. I will be brutally fucking honest about this tent and see if it works for me or not. So that is that. Early impressions, though, this thing's pretty fucking awesome. The little amount of time I've spent in it, it's worked out well, and one person I carried on the AT worked out just fine for me. It was awesome. So very fucking pleased so far with this tent. Like I said, only time will tell, man. All right, fuckers, and to round out my big 3 for the PCT this year, has not changed from last year on the AT, is my sleeping system. This is my 20 degree Revelation. Couldn't be more happy. This thing's got another through hike in it, I believe. This thing kept me nice and toasty warm on the AT. I was very fucking pleased. It got down to 15 degrees one night. It was the coldest temperature I had, and that was at Wyatt Bullet Shelter with some extra layers and my puffy on. This thing kept me nice and toasty warm. It was fine. 20 degrees is a pretty comfortable temperature rating for my ass. Everybody's going to be different. Everybody sleeps warmer or colder. It's just you have to figure out what temperature rating is for you. And what's great about Enlightened equipment is you can customize everything. Black on black, bitch. That's how I roll, obviously. But you can customize the colors, the loft, the length, the width. It's fucking awesome. Go on their website. You can pretty much make your dream sleeping bag, or quilt, I should say. But yeah, no complaints about this thing. It's got an R through hike in it, so I'm going to use it again in the PCT. Now, real quick about quilts. Obviously, it doesn't have a hood. The whole idea of quilts is you're saving on weight because it doesn't have the bottom to it, right? Which helps you open it all the way up like a blanket if you want to. Sleeping on down compresses it, loses its capabilities of keeping you warm, obviously. So that's what the beauty of the quilt is. It saves on weight, and it still keeps you warm. So the way these Revelations work, it's got a snap and buckle system on it. So it's got a snap here on the end, right? And then it's got this drawstring cord. You just cinch that up, and you got yourself a foot box. Now, there is going to be a hole there, obviously, still, even if you cinched it up all the way. So if the draft is going to be an issue for you, which wasn't for me on the AT, you can always stick a shirt down there, extra pair of socks just to cover up that hole. Not a big deal. And then it's got like a quarter zipper to zip it up, and then a snap and buckle system on the end. So you can pretty much turn this thing into a sleeping bag, and it helps keep down on the draft. And then on the top, it's got another drawstring and snap system here. And this one's got like a little, it's a different drawstring than the bottom, so it's got this little thing here. You just cinch that up and it cinches around your neck and traps all that warm air inside of it. Like I said, this thing kept me nice and toasty warm. There is the possibility of drafts if you're rolling around constantly like I do at night, but I didn't find it to be an issue. If it's cold, I'm usually sleeping in my puffy and extra layers anyway, so the draft hasn't been an issue with this thing for me. Now, it does have a couple battle scars on it. As you can see, I got it taped right there. I got to retape that, but this is not actually from the AT. This happened before I even hit the AT. Me and Roscoe were sleeping around here in North Carolina out in it. It was really fucking cold, and then Roscoe was really protective of this fucking thing, and I tried to move him, and he got pissed off, and he punctured a couple of holes in it with his Freddy Krueger fingers, so not a big deal. This thing's got another through hike in it, just be more delicate with it. I'll retape that, and it'll be fine. Alright, fuckers, and to round out my big three, or I should say my big four, I'm going to include my sleeping pad in this because it supplements my fucking quilt. And that is my Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite. Having it blown up in the tent, you kind of get a better idea how much room is in this fucking thing. There's some room to spare at the head there, and there's some room to spare at the feet there. So, like I said, this tent's got plenty of room. But with the sleeping pad, no complaints with this thing. These pads are probably the majority of what people use on long distance hikes. There's a reason for it. They're comfortable as shit. I don't know how those ultralight fuckers sleep on those 1/4-inch foam pads, man. I'm not willing to sacrifice that much weight for the comfortability I get with this fucking pad. Now, yeah, people say they're loud and crinkly. I don't give a fuck. I'm sleeping. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm trying to sleep, motherfucker. Don't worry about my crinkling noise. I don't think it's that fucking bad. It doesn't wake my ass up at night, so I don't imagine it waking up anybody else. This is actually the second one I've owned. The one I originally carried on the AT, the valve broke on it, and I had a backup ready to go, so I just had this one sent to me. And I used it probably 3/4 of the AT, so still got some life in this fucker. I'm going to use it again starting on the PCT. This is the regular length and regular width. Now I sleep in the fetal position, so I actually have probably that much room left to spare. I could probably get away with using the women's one, but like I said, I've got this one already. I'm gonna fucking use it. Now people say, oh, I don't want to blow it up at the end of the fucking night. You're on fucking vacation, man. You got all fucking day to blow this bitch up. Take your time. It's not that big of a fucking deal. I didn't complain about blowing this fucking thing up. This, like I said, the good night's sleep I get in this thing, well worth blowing it up, man. And it compresses down inside your pack. You don't have that big ass fucking accordion thing outside your pack. I don't want any part of that shit. So I'm carrying this bitch on the PCT, and I am gonna get, goddamn microphone. I'm gonna get a good fucking night's sleep on that fucking pad. So hell yeah, man. Alright, fuckers, that's going to wrap it up for this video. That is the big three I will be carrying on the PCT this year. All 2,650 fucking miles of it. Goddamn, I'm stoked. It's been a long fucking winter. I know you're sick of waiting. I'm sick of waiting. I'm ready to be standing at a southern terminus heading north again. This is what I fucking live for, and it's almost here, man. In the upcoming weeks, I'll be releasing videos on all the gear I'll be using, so stay tuned for that. On a side note, I woke up this morning and found out that I just reached 6,000 subscribers, so that's fucking big time for me. Thank you so much for all you fuckers that followed me last year, some of you way before then, and to all you new subscribers out there, God help you all, man. Thanks a lot for following along, fuckers. It means a lot to me. So, until next time, this is your boy IB Tat. We'll holler at you motherfuckers later, man.